Today we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive into the Genesis SL3 model line of battery-driven rescue tools. The Genesis SL3 line is driven by the Milwaukee M18 5 amp hour battery. Let's go back just a little bit. I want to talk just a little bit about the history of Genesis and battery-driven rescue tools. Our first battery-driven platform, the Freedom Series, came out in about 1996. We worked with the Freedom Series up until about 2010 when we partnered with our friends at Milwaukee Tool Corporation and we got their approval to use their Milwaukee M18 3 amp hour battery on our first line of Milwaukee driven tools, the EFORCE series. Fast forward to today's standards, we're working with the Genesis SL3 series driven by a Milwaukee 5 amp hour battery. So when you take a look back over time, Genesis has had a lot of time and experience in the battery-driven rescue tool market. Milwaukee Tool Corporation, large company, they actually get basically the cream of the crop of the lithium-ion cells that are out there, and they only choose to use the top 10% of those cells in the construction of their batteries. In fact, today, as we shoot this video in 2024, I'm still using batteries on my demo truck dated all the way back into 2018. So remember, not all batteries are created equal. Milwaukee is definitely the superior battery manufacturer in the battery industry. This two-piece body is a fiberglass infused poly body type material. It's going to offer reduced weight, reducing firefighter fatigue, yet adding durability for the extrication scene. Every single tool in the SL3 lineup uses this same two-piece clamshell design, all the way from the 11C, our smallest combination tool, all the way up and through our largest rescue tool, the F7 cutter. The SL3 series has got an IP rating of 54. That IP54 rating is going to give you the ability to use these in a driving heavy downpour rain. Now remember, they are not fully submersible, so if using your SL3 tools underwater is something that your department would choose to use, remember, we've got a Divex cover that can very quickly be placed over top of any of the SL3 tools for underwater safe operation. Also incorporated into the two-piece clamshell poly body are LED lights. Remember, LED technology takes almost no energy. So what Genesis has done is we've added 4 LEDs on the front and 2 on the rear. Okay, let's talk about operation of the SL3 series. My power button located right here on top. My control valve is located right here. Remember, primary function of a spreader is to spread. So I slide my index finger right into that concave portion of that control valve to open my rescue tool. Primary function on a cutter is to cut. So same thing, that index finger goes right into that concave portion of the control valve to cut. You know, one of the things that I like about the control valve on the Genesis SL3 series, as well as the Genesis SLI series, is Genesis gives you the ability to have the absolute utmost control in opening and closing your rescue tool. Nobody else on the market offers that. We are not simply an open close. We give you the ability to feather that valve. Genesis engineers have put a great deal of time and effort into designing not just what we feel to be the best rescue tool on the market, but we've taken you, the firefighter, into consideration in offering lightweight as well as balance. Whether it be on the S54 spreader with a 32-inch opening, you can take a look that the D handle balances that rescue tool out very well. If we move over to any of our cutters, any of our combination tools, you'll see that we have a two-piece poly handle that will loosen here, gives you the ability to move that handle all the way around, as well as remove that handle for a really small confined space rescue, as in a tunneling evolution. This is going to give me the ability to use this rescue tool in this position or here, moving it all the way around freely. If I'm going to hold that and use that there for a little bit, I'll just very simply tighten and snug that up. We also give you the ability to lay this poly handle down. So I can just loosen this all the way up, lay that down flat, slide up into my confined space, make my cut with my rear mounted control valve, open up, pull right back out, slide that back into its original position, lock it back in place, loosen this just a touch to move that around freely when I'm using it, working on the car elsewhere. We actually forge all of our steel components. Anybody that knows anything about steel manufacturing realizes that's a very expensive method of manufacturing. Genesis knows the reliability, but more importantly, durability of forging. That's why we choose to forge our parts. When we talk about specifically about the blade technology on the Genesis cutters, you'll notice this is what we call a smooth cut blade. This is going to give you the ability to wrap around that material, make that complete cut, and then when the material is severed, you're not going to get that great big pop and snap that you may have experienced with older cutter blade designs. You know, we talked a little bit earlier about ergonomics, weight distribution. Genesis actually goes as far, they have calculated we do not need this material inside of the blades, so we have removed that material on both blades, thereby reducing the overall weight of the tool just a little bit more. That's how concerned Genesis is about firefighter fatigue, ergonomics, weight, and balance. Okay, we've talked a lot about some different components here. Let's talk about the two-stage pump as well as the auto timeout feature on the SL3 series tools. Genesis offers a two-stage pump in the SL3 series. This is going to give you a good high flow, high speed in that first stage. When it senses that it needs higher demand for power, it's going to kick over into the second stage, offering a little bit slower flow, yet the big power that you need to complete that spread cut, push or pull. All of the tools, spreaders, cutters, combis, and rams, also offer a 30-second timeout feature. So if I do not tell that tool to open or close after 30 seconds, it shuts off automatically. You know, there's been a lot of rumors out there that the M18 battery platform is going away. It's not going anywhere. Milwaukee has got hundreds of millions of dollars invested into this M18 platform. It's a very successful platform. It's going to stick around for a long time. Let's talk about a couple of charging options for you, whether it be an off-the-shelf single bay charger. Genesis also offers a couple of different options for charging the M18 battery. A 3-bay, 4-bay, 5-bay, even up to a 6-bay charger. If for some reason you'd like to customize that, we can do that for you. In closing, if you have any questions regarding the SL3 or the SLI series, please reach out to our corporate office in Kettering, Ohio. Reach out to your local sales representative or visit us at howrescue.com. Thanks for taking the time to watch our video today.